Google Hangouts, buddy.
That's what Google can't do.
Ah! This is the only Internet Explorer child ever to be in his generation.
Really?
Still loves Internet Explorer.
Not a Chrome fan.
I think it's just he didn't want to set the default program to Chrome, so he just stuck with it, to be honest. All right, guys. So our learning target today is we're going to learn about how to create a class CSS, and your success criteria is you'll be applying that class CSS to any object on your web page. Okay. So what we found out that CSS does is it helps design our website, right? And you can apply CSS to certain objects, right? But it only applies to that one and only object. So what we can do now is we can create something called a class CSS, which can be applied to anything. It's almost like its own style sheet that you can apply to certain objects. So, for instance, what we're going to do is we're going to create a class CSS that is going to apply a border to anything we apply it with. So we're going to go ahead and open up our, so for instance here, let me go to one that we had. Let's go to this one. Nope, all right. There you go. I'm going to be on this one right here. Again, I don't have a header, you guys do. But we're going to create a class CSS that we can apply to the div tags for here. So if we want to have our whole container to have a border around it. All right, so we're going to go to our CSS Designer tab. All right, we're going to click the Add Selectors here. Now, when you click Add Selector, I'll give you guys a second to get there. All right, again, you can close that DOM one. You don't need it open. We're under selectors, and I click Add New Selector. When I add new selector, it's going to say hashtag container, right? I'm going to get to that. Are you talking about from what source? Hold on, open up your source. Where's your CSS? Obviously, you have a CSS. Go to your files. Go to your CSS.
672. There it is. Wait, did you go to Google Drive?
Oh, I see.
Go to Google Drive.
Yeah.
Click on
All right, so guys, in order for your selectors to be able to have that plus sign, just click somewhere that's already like been applied by your CSS style sheet. Go ahead, hit the plus sign for selector. Now, all class CSS will start with a period. All right, it will start with a period. So you're not going to do. It's not going to apply to some specific. We're going to create it itself, and we're going to apply it to objects. We're going to start with period, and we're going to name this border. Not border. All right, when you click off and click back on, you will now have your properties. You can make whatever it wants. Now, again, as you do it, it's not going to affect anything because there's nothing in your web page that's .border. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come down to where it says border. I'll go by my screen so I can see that. All right. In fact, you can click that middle icon in the top of your properties that says border, and it'll jump right down to it. Let's go ahead and choose all borders. Click next to it where it says width. You can go to pixels. Let's go ahead and choose 5 pixels. The style. All right. The old CSS gave you like a preview of what that was. Here, you're just going to have to play around with it, which I'll show you how to do. Let's go ahead and just use a dash. And color, I'm going to go purple. I put 5. I'm sorry, what? Did I say dash? Did I? Oh, that's right. I was like, what? All right, so we got a dash one. It's purple. It's 5 pixels. All right. Now, if that's all we wanted, we just want to stop there. You technically have created your class CSS. What's up?
What'd you do?
Created a border.
What? Like, what'd you create? I don't see.
Lucas.
You can't see it. I can't see it.
All right. So underneath the border aspect of your dot border CSS, do you have it where it's border?
Yeah.
Click the width. Change it to 5 pixels. Style, we use dash. All this is customizable. I'm just doing this one as an example here. All right. And then color, we want to purple. All right. And again, it didn't affect anything because we haven't applied it yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to apply it to the container itself. So if I go down to the bottom where we've got our tag identifiers down here, if I click container and down in the property inspector, all right, you'll see where it says class. If you click the down arrow, you will now see it says border. Again, if you don't have the property inspector on the bottom, you need to go up to window. Yeah, you need to go to window and properties. And once you click it, you will see class and you can hit border. Once you do that, you will now see that it applied it to that. All right, while we're here, let's go ahead and see what else we can apply this to. Let's go ahead and throw in the picture of the Zophis. I think that should be in our assets, is it not?
Yeah. No,
No, just the border.
No?
Just
All right, now, let's go ahead and bring it in properly here. Let's go ahead and open up the Zophis in Photoshop and save it for the web as a review from yesterday. I remember it's got a lot of images, not images, sorry, it's got a lot of colors. It's an actual picture, so we should probably save it as a what? It's a JPEG.
Putting your logo on my phone.
Hey, leave my beard alone. It's a good beard. All right, once my Photoshop opens here. All right, there we go. So once you open it up, you're going to go to File. Is it Export? File, Export for the web. If my Photoshop, there it goes. Zophis got injured the other day.
What happened?
Her back paw's not feeling so well. I don't know what it is. The doctor said it's sprained. I know. Let's try that again. All right, there you go. You should have this up. All right, we got the original, and then we got at 50%. I'm going to zoom out so I can actually see my whole image. At the bottom here, at the bottom down here, there's a preview right above. What?
You can also
Alt scroll, so it works just like Photoshop?
Yeah.
It does. All right, I'm gonna bring the quality up just a little bit. Actually, it's not gonna matter here. All right, I'm gonna go to 31% quality. All right, it doesn't seem like it changes the image that much. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. And the file name is gonna be Zophis. Save it in your fun folder. And then go ahead and put that picture inside of your body. And again, Bart said there's 2 ways to do it. Bart, what was one way? You can go to insert and do what?
Image.
Image. And then you can select which image you want in there. Now, you kind of need to have your insertion point where you want the image to go. All right, I'm going to leave it where it says content for ID goes here, just to show you that you can apply it to the image. So if you want to go and apply it to the image, make sure you click the image itself. Let me see here. Let me zoom out of this bad boy. And then you can go to class and reselect border, and notice it will put a border around the Zophis. I'm just going to adjust the size of Zoe. There you go, so you can see it. You able to get a border around it? Yeah. So click the image. Once you click the image, you can go ahead and down in the properties, select border again under class. It's already going to show that it's there, but you're going to want to go ahead and select it again.
I don't either. I can't get my work.
How many do you have right now?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You can keep on.
Yes.
I can't get the border to work.
You can't get the border to work. Top to the bottom.
I got
You get to work?
I have that border and it's inside the.
Alright, man. Scroll down. Scroll down. Stop. Go back up to board. Stop. Go down. Select your container. No, you have something called container now. What's container now? Just a picture yourself.
Okay,
What is that though? What's container now?
I click on this and then I would select
Oh, you added. What did you do? How do you have container now?
I know it's the same thing.
Could you have done the border if we just typed it?
I probably
Yeah, do it right now.
I just do it.
That's what I thought.
If I do it right now, I'll get off track. I'm already off track.
All right, man. Sure.
double borders.
I should be giving like I'm gonna give a teacher a sheet for dropping the class.
You talking to me?
You want to sit in that room for 2 hours with my nonsense?
What did you do? How did you get?
I click on the tag and then I press
Be
the
a spirit study
settings
hall.
and create a selector and then I go to shift and just rename it that border. I just realized why.
Give me my password to the Moraine Valley. Study that. It's a different order. don't have the assessments I don't want to do. I don't have to code it. It's already in that class. We're gonna survive. I don't. Let them flunk. You have the right to fail. I need some more stuff.
What is going on here?
What did you do?
You just right click and do that.
Undo that too. No, I had that. Where's that count?
You don't do some heads up, ask them. Do the answer switches or something.
Oh, I figured out this dialogue. That's it. It wasn't like working. Let's see your container.
All right. The next thing I want to show you how you can alter and edit what your class CSS looks like here. All right. So we did one for the border. Now let's say we wanted to have some like padding so the border isn't snug up against our image. All right. Let's go ahead and go to our CSS designer. Go to our dot border again. And let's scroll up to layout. And go down to padding. Remember, padding's on the inside. So this is going to add space between our border and our image, or our border and our div. So if you take a look here, if I go ahead, oops, and I increase it to 10 pixels, notice it will give you a 10 pixel buffer zone between your border and whatever you applied it to. All right, the only thing I did, I know it's kind of hard to see. I wish I could zoom into that one section of my computer here. All right, but down here when I got into padding, I clicked that little link in the middle. So basically it applied the same size all the way around, and I just dragged to 10 pixels. And it will go ahead and give you a little buffer zone between your image and what you applied it to. So notice, you should also have like a little buffer zone in between your div. Thank you. Your div tag in your border there. What's up?
How much padding did you do?
I did 10. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So when we start putting images in here, we'll be starting putting class CSS together so we can space them out and make it look nice and pretty. All right. So that's a real quick class CSS. What I want you to go ahead and do is I want you to go ahead and make a class CSS for your other page. So for your home page, go ahead and insert an image into that body tag and go ahead and make a class CSS for that.